people just love content.
Are we live?
Hey, we're live.
Hey,
Hey.
You
how's
have
our
to finish
audio
the
sound?
word continuity. You just have to finish that. You can't be interrupted in the middle of saying
Continuity.
Whoa.
There it is,
Continuity.
there it is.
Whoa, demonetized.
Continuity.
First minute.
Well, good day and welcome to.
I'm Carl Stefanovic. This is my co-host, Maude Garrett. Have you ever met him?
Yeah, he's a friend.
Oh, he's really?
Yeah.
That guy's like the best morning news person. He's being wasted on Australia. He needs to come to
Yeah.
Well, I think he
America.
might be. But my
Ooh.
favorite clip is, and I, as an Australian living over here, can still appreciate it, where it's the great white shark, and he's like, I am never going back in the water again. It's like, oh, stuff summer. Let's go down to the local pool. I love it.
I posted me plugger.
What?
No, no.
I'm gonna start
That
doing
wasn't
the accent.
great.
Yeah.
All right, as soon as you're Australian, I'm going to be American, and we'll see how this goes down.
Yeah.
Well, the American accent is terrible, so
Yeah.
there's no.
The American accent is monotone.
I'll use my credit card.
Yes. Very
I mean, I'm not
Does
saying
anyone
anything.
else
I
get
live in
really
this beautiful
distracted?
country.
Like the second I know an actor is either British or Australian, and they're playing like a distinctly American role. Like, and actually, this season of The Leftovers, the dude that was the doctor from Doctor Who, I don't know, he's a British guy.
Benedict
But
Cumberbatch?
everything he
That's
says,
Peter
Sherlock.
Capaldi?
yeah.
David Tennant.
Wait, really?
No.
David
Everybody's
Tennant.
doing it subconsciously.
Who's the one that had the black leather jacket?
I've never seen this.
Oh,
He's a nerd. What
yeah,
is it?
yeah. He was. I know exactly who you're talking about. Eccleston. Is
Oh,
it?
Christopher Eccleston.
But he
yeah, that
he
one.
enunciates everything so, and you're just like
Over the
just
top,
stop,
yeah.
Just stop.
Yeah, I always do it subconsciously, where I know that they're Australian or British, and then I'll hear them slip up once in a movie, and I'm like, ha-ha!
Yeah.
Gotcha!
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ruined.
Have you done? Have you ever done like a thing where you had to be with a British or American accent?
Every voice job that I get, it's usually being Siri or a British like robot.
No.
So that's what I get.
Well, the Australian accent is just a mangled version of.
What you saying?
It's like
Oh,
a
okay, sorry.
prison variant.
It's like
It's like when you
severely
ship a bunch of your
handicapped
prisoners
version
to an
of an
island.
accent.
And
Yeah, exactly.
You take the worst of society and you move them
Move 'em.
to the other side of the world, and you just sort of let it develop into its own thing.
Anyways, this is Maude Garrett. Maude, where would everyone know you from? You were on SourceFed for a
I was
while.
on SourceFed
and
Nerd
then-
for a year and a half. That was a lot of fun. I've done a bunch of other things for different outlets like BBC America, hence knowing my Doctor Who's.
And who nots?
Yeah, and why not? Well, that's another
All the
conversation.
Who's down in Whoville.
Yeah.
Whovians?
Yes.
I saw a clip. Someone posted, I think, on the SourceFed subreddit like a year ago, but it was like
What are you doing on there?
It was like a Nickelodeon show that you did like 11 years ago, where you were like at a camp counselor or something.
Yep.
What was that?
Whoa.
Okay.
And then like half the
Maude
comments
on
were
the
like,
spot. We should have just titled the yeah.
yeah. And then all these kids in the comments were like, oh, like Maude Garrett was my first crush when I was like 7 years old watching
I know,
Nickelodeon in
that's
Australia.
weird. Yeah, I may have been the cause of a lot of first boners,
Oh
which
God!
is not fun.
I didn't say it. You
Nothing
said
wrong
it.
with that.
Well, you know,
A regular
between the
Goldie
lines.
Hawn.
Goldie Horny. Anyway, so the show was called Camp Orange, and I did start that. I was on that, oh my God, 11 years ago. I did 4 seasons, and basically 4 teams of best friends get together to compete over a week long, doing 2 challenges a day, and whoever wins gets to be the heroes of Camp Orange.
So it was like Wild and Crazy
Yeah.
Kids, but
Guys, this show was so popular that I had
Salute Your
mothers.
Shorts meets Wild and Crazy Kids.
yeah.
I have no idea what either of those are, so I can't.
Nickelodeon doesn't sit you down and like prep you for what's going on here.
We had different, what?
I don't know.
Different shows.
You had moms
If I was Nickelodeon,
harassing
that's
you.
what I would do.
Yes, bribing me. They tried
What?
to attempt to bribe me to get their child on the show. It was such, and we had like thousands of kids auditioning for this show, and I was just like, thank you for this really expensive face product. I'm not sure entirely what you want me to do.
That's definitely something we have in common. That's something we can bridge the gap between Australia and America. Our parents are terrible.
Yeah.
They are overly competitive, and they'll do terrible things for their kids.
I always, anytime I watch one of these, like either a game show or a show geared towards children, but always like the tween teen, I'm like, did the host just go in their trailer and just bump lines of coke and just debauchery and do shots, and they come back and they're like, ha, kids.
Well, they're
I
not
don't
that
know.
extreme.
Are you asking her based on personal experience?
Not that
I'm putting it
extreme.
out here in the ether, and if you
I've
want
done
to
a
just,
couple of things.
How
that,
many drugs
no
were
one
you
knows
on when
about.
you were around the children?
yeah.
No, well, we did do these event shows, and SpongeBob and Patrick were there, and I did take a compromising photo of me doing the starfish with Patrick, if you know what I'm saying.
Doing the starfish?
Well, I mean,
Chocolate starfish?
I was. Anyway, that could have cost me my job, but no one found out about that one, and it
That's
was on a
good.
flip phone. So.
Oh, good. Yeah.
that was
a lot harder to share back then.
But I remember filming the 3rd season of Camp Orange, and I'm around kids all the time, and I had America, fuck yeah, lick my ass and suck on my balls during the entire shoot. And the kids are like, hey, Maude, and I'm like, how you going? So that was fun. Did we were allowed to swear or not?
Yeah, we can swear.
Okay, cool.
Well, can we though?
Every time Maude swears, send a super chat because YouTube took all of our
the
spending
swear
money.
jar.
Take it to the
Oh
dog.
Yeah,
yeah,
this is
you
swear
actually need
swear
to
jar.
donate into the swear jar when I drop bombs.
Yeah.
Yeah, you picked a smart time to leave the YouTube game.
What's happening, guys? Fill me in.
YouTube like had it's called the adpocalypse is what everyone's coining it as.
It's a little hysterical.
It's over the top for sure, but
Yeah.
yeah, it's they're in the past month and a half or so, a ton of advertisers pulled out of running
You just
ads.
nearly did it.
on YouTube, and it's made everyone's monetization drop by like 50% at least. So it's been kind of hectic for people that rely on that. We are in a better situation because we just make the show and don't rely entirely off of that. But it is a metric that we are judged upon. So hopefully things bounce back.
Well, it's what happens when you make your head of programming an algorithm.
Yeah.
Like that's what.
That's not
Not like a
fact that
person.
robots
Well,
run
hold on a
everything.
second here, robot. You might be wrong if you throw an ad on this extremist video.
I, for one, welcome our robot overlords.
I lost like 7,000 subscribers for no real reason.
Yeah, we keep losing them all the time. Anyways.
Come back.
Thank you, Corey Slip, who just sent 20 NOK dollars.
North Korean dollars.
Oh, North Korean dollars.
It's Norwegian
Order.
kroner.
Also, Josh Fittler, who sent $5. Here's your beer money. Favorite part of the week is watching you guys on the show. Thank you, Josh. Corey Slip has a question. It's a very loaded question, which we could spend a lot of time talking about. And we'll get to the other stuff that we're going to talk about
Juicy
today.
stuff with
The
your loaded
juice.
We have to
question.
talk about Guardians of the Galaxy 2. We're going to talk about that Fyre Festival and what's happened
Yeah.
since everything went down. We have some trailers and some info about Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson's Rampage movie, which is still a real thing that's happening.
Rampage, like the giant monster.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
Corey Slip asks, who is your favorite superhero? I think we should let Maude take this one first.
I've been asked this a few times. Is it like superpower or actual character? Can
think
it
it
be a
would-
villain?
I would read that as your favorite character,
Yeah.
not what power you would have.
I like Nightwing. I love me some dick.
Got the sticks.
Grace.
Yep.
She owns a pun shirt store too.
I'm wearing one.
Yeah.
What does it say?
Underwear?
There's literally space in Vader's.
Yeah, so everything that she says is
Okay, it's not bad.
constantly selling. You're constantly selling merchandise in your head. I
Yes.
love me some Dick Grayson.
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 That's exactly how I talk. I don't know.
Grayson.
It's like being back home again.
Dick Grayson.
Yeah.
I do like Nightwing. I like the fact that he was almost like the understudy that came good, and he was just like he learned everything from his mentor, and he, kind of rose up through suffering a loss of his family, and then, detective stuff. Bit of Sherlock
Yeah.
fan as well. So it's
he
the
got
best
his
of
own
both worlds.
costume with no shorts. Got
Yeah.
to wear the pants finally.
That was a shame.
He trained and trained instead of just getting sad about his parents and spending money.
Bingo.
Batman
Yeah.
also trained though.
I mean, he trained, yeah, but with the help of very expensive.
That's true.
Yeah.
And what Robin was, he already had like some skills because he was in the circus. So
Yes. Yeah.
Grayson kind of came up from nothing and wanted to be that, I guess, right?
Sure.
I mean, we have a resident DC expert over
Doesn't
here.
Dick Grayson use a gun now and he's no longer Nightwing and he calls himself Grayson? I've only
He's
seen
like
the
a
covers.
detective. He's like
No. I mean, in Rebirth, he's Dick Grayson Nightwing. He's Batman's former.
He just uses the
partner,
club
apprentice.
still, right?
Yeah, he uses the club still, but he
That's
has
how
a
he
lot
does
of.
at the clubs.
Yeah.
He's got batarangs and gadgets and stuff like that. I don't know where he hides them because he doesn't have a utility belt.
In his
But-
cod
You can,
piece.
you
It's
can
right in the cod
See
piece.
everything.
In his-
so I
in
don't
his
know.
blood-
It's the
Butthole.
cod piece. It's like how you smuggle things into music festivals.
But I always thought that the origin story of Harley Quinn was fascinating, but she's not a hero at all.
She's an anti-hero.
She's a bit
No,
weird.
she's a killer. She's like a crazy person who's
Yeah,
a killer.
she's
That's what kind
doink.
of not to go on the Suicide Squad.
Yeah, the Harley Quinn canon starts and stops at Suicide Squad.
But for you ever to convince me that like a homicidal killer can be a hero, I'm like,
no.
I just it
and
doesn't
people
work
saying
that way.
relationship goals with Harley and the Joker.
Ooh,
It's
yeah.
the most
But what about-
dysfunctional,
Functional,
like
yeah.
a manipulative, disgusting, contrite relationship.
Now you say that a murdering villain cannot become a hero, yet Jason Statham in the Fast and Furious franchise has done just that.
Beautiful segue.
Number 1, by the way, 3rd week in a row.
Yeah,
Wow, I
good
still
for
haven't
Wow.
seen it. I haven't
Excellent.
seen it.
Really? Oh, it's
I did
great.
all the interviews, but they wouldn't show us the movie.
I mean, you don't need to be in a rush about it, but it's fine.
I feel
I
like
think
it's
that the
a
best part about the Fast and Furious movies is that everyone's in on the joke except for Vin Diesel.
Yeah.
Like Vin Diesel's like, okay, I'm ready for the scene. Let's do it. Bring the camera. Like, no one talk to me.
Speak
He's
Yeah.
well when
still-
you're doing Vin. I can visualize it if you just sound a little bit more like him. That's not bad.
Yeah.
Like,
Well, you have to hold your nose too.
Yeah, every time
He has a deviated septum.
yeah,
for
no,
sure.
yeah. Every time he talks, I'm like, he probably snores all night.
Bro, you got the money. Go get the surgery.
He needs
done.
the mask. He probably's like, no, I'm fine. His wife's like, you stopped breathing for a whole minute last night.
wife-
Vin,
Yeah.
you gotta
He
wear
was
the
like-
CPAP mask.
his harem of women that just probably rotating cast.
Yeah,
That
it's,
guy's doesn't have a wife.
Oh, he does.
Yeah, he does. And he has
And
a kid
kids.
too, right?
Yeah, he's got kids.
He has a wife and
Cool.
kids.
Yeah.
Where have I been?
You know who's really upset at Fast and Furious right now? Not to segue directly into the Fyre Festival, but Ja Rule was in Fast and Furious and left the franchise.
Oh, yeah.
By his own choice.
Yep, that's right.
How good's Luda though? I
Oh,
think
yeah.
some of Ludacris's raps are the best out there, and I have my white girl moments from time
I mean,
to time.
Word of Mouth is a fantastic album. No one's denying that.
Yeah.
Has he done anything recently? He did the music
He
video
put
with
out-
the fake abs.
Yeah,
I
that's
remember
a
that.
new one.
They did CGI abs, but like people were like they thought it was ridiculous, but it was in a dream sequence.
Oh, okay,
So
that
it
makes
makes
sense.
it-
He has a
Yeah.
he has a history of modifying his body for music videos. Sort of.
Yeah, it used to be like his head would get big.
Yeah,
And
he'd be like a baby. And,
Yeah.
yeah, he's all
Oh
about
yeah,
it.
yeah.
Yeah.
It's like when you do your character development, you make you, but the best version of you.
Yeah.
I did that for Elder Scrolls Online, and it took me like 14 levels to realize I'd made a replica of Taylor Swift.
Oh, okay.
Like it looks exactly like.
So every game that you play, do you spend the most time of that game
it's
in
my
the character
favorite
creation?
part. It's like, do I want my cheeks a little higher, lips a little fuller? It's amazing.
Do you just take out your phone and like look and then like you're painting a self-portrait?
I have actually taken photos from the front and the side to try and. That was for
game?
Dragon Age.
And then you played for 2 hours and gave up?
No, I finished Dragon Age 100%.
Okay.
Mass Effect had the worst though. It's like no matter what I did.
Which
my
bowling
chick-
ball do you want to look like?
No, Shep looked like she'd just gone to 19 LA doctors.
Yeah.
You know, and had every nip and tuck out there, and I was like trying to make it look subtle, but anyway.
Yeah, so I mean, we could talk about that whole Fyre Festival fiasco. The new news is that, guess what? Surprise, lawsuit already happening.
100 million?
$100 million lawsuit is
Oh,
on
yeah.
the table right now, which eventually means they'll probably get 10 million, the lawyer will take 7 million, and the people of the festival will get split evenly. But who knows? It's Mark Garagos, the Michael Jackson's
Yeah,
lawyer.
that guy. He's got a big nose for these kind of things. He
Yeah.
sniffs out the.
Does he actually
the
have a
hot
big
But
stuff.
nose?
isn't there something to be said that like people
No,
still
he's-
wanted to
he's
go?
like a bloodhound. He can smell
and
the
people are
lawsuits.
going to want to go to this festival next year.
Well,
like
they
there's
already
something still
announced-
very exclusive. Like it's
They
still
already
very
announced
desirable.
the 2018 version. They're like, yeah, don't worry, it's going to be awesome in 2018.
Hold
and it's
on.
like, wait, what?
So
If
the
they had
two-
marketed this as like some weird survivalist, like Mad Max
Yeah.
dystopian festival, it would have gone off without a hitch. It would have been exactly what they advertised.
And you joke, but there are actually really, really rich people that pay stupid amounts of money to be kidnapped.
Yeah.
Like,
What?
that's a thing.
And Hunted.
Yeah.
I've seen The Pest with John Leguizamo. It's a great movie.
I've seen David Fincher's The Game.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I think there's something to be said that like as long as you market it well, nothing can go wrong. Like there is no bad ending for anything.
But that's what they've done. They've marketed it saying you've got catering, it's going to be all these amazing things. It's going to be,
Supermodels.
yeah, you know, they've guaranteed that there's going to be Gigi and the, the.
And then they don't deliver,
Kardashian.
right? And everyone's like,
Kendall?
"Oh my God, it's so terrible!" But then that turns into like, "But wait, it's so terrible, it's kind of fucking awesome."
badge of
It's
pride.
also
Yeah, and
it's the
now
best
it's
and
like-
worst situation for Ja Rule because although he's in the midst of a lawsuit, which probably doesn't matter because I can't imagine that he's swimming in
Baby.
cash, his name is now a worldwide marketing thing.
He's back in the
Yeah,
headlines.
He's back in the
He's back in
headlines,
the
and he
headlines.
hasn't been there since he probably quit
Yeah.
Fast and
The
Furious.
news is going to be like, "Where's Ja?" for the first time in
It's
Yeah.
very
15
easy to
years.
make lemonade in 2017.
Beyonce did that last year, actually.
Whoops.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's a $100 million lawsuit against Ja Rule and Billy McFarland, who I think is the real mastermind behind this whole.
So this is a 25-year-old who's
and who has multiple
Billy McFarland.
multiple
Little
problems
Billy
with
McFarland.
consumers. He's
He
dicked
goes
over
by
consumers
Billy, so yeah, I guess.
on multiple occasions. He made that. He was the guy that made that millennial black card.
Oh,
where,
yeah,
like,
yeah, that
if
was-
you signed up for it, it would give you like exclusive like entry into like concerts, or it would give you like discounts on certain things, and like people bought into it, but it had like a yearly fee. And then it turned out that like he had no like backing for
Yeah.
it.
So
they
this
were
guy's really good at ripping off
People.
millennials.
millennials,
Yeah.
for sure.
I mean, I got to give him credit for that.
But
Good
he's come
job, Billy.
out, like he's come out, made a statement being like, totally underprepared. We didn't really know what we were doing. This is
Yeah,
way
they
out of our
admitted
league.
everything.
Yeah.
It
Out
was
of our league. We should have
crazy.
done it, but let's do it all again next year because we've learnt our lesson. It's like, no. You can't.
So
screw
as
up
of
on an
right
epic
now, there's
scale.
150 plaintiffs attached to it, which is a huge payout after Garrett takes his fee. Yeah, so the festival cost anywhere between $1,000 to $125,000 for tickets.
Does someone pay that?
I guess so. My friend was
Yeah.
there. He was stuck in Miami. He didn't get to the fest. But like he was like posting pictures of his wristband and stuff. Like he didn't pay because he was one of the influencers.
Oh.
Got it.
They got flown there to promote the thing. But yeah, there was this huge. And we'll put a link when this video goes back up later. We'll put a link in the description. Great write-up from this woman who worked for the festival. They never made her sign an NDA. So on Friday, she wrote this whole write-up because she left the fest a month ago because they were like, hey, guess what? They fired a bunch of people and they're like, guess what? You still get to work for us, but you're gonna have to take a cut in pay. And she's like, no. And she's like, I knew it was destined to fail for a month, and I was just watching it, and then when it crashed and burned, it was pretty
just hung 'em out to
amazing.
dry.
But yeah, she was like, and like the article ends with, best of all, they were too stupid to make me sign an NDA. So
Love
it
it.
was, it's on New York Mag.
Man, but all this stuff still works. Like, it's getting so much publicity. Like, every
No, I
misstep
don't know if you
they've
can come
taken-
back from this. People aren't stupid. Millennials.
Are you kidding me? People
Don't
aren't stupid.
wanna be
People go
taken
into
for
the
a ride.
desert and listen to music.
That was a great festival. There was
Someone will step in and be like, no, we're doing it completely differently now. It's going to be an awesome fest. And everyone's going to be like, wow, it's still pretty crazy. You get to party on a private island. There's still something about that.
Did you see the photo? I mean, I like food. Did you see I came in eating a sausage McMuffin. But
With
anyway,
like the bread and a slice of cheese on it.
the saddest
You
thing
can't
you've
say
ever
I like
seen.
food and I came in eating a sausage McMuffin.
I had to preface
They're not-
with the
that's
full
not food.
story,
Yeah.
but it was the saddest little picture where it was like 2 loaves of bread, some green foliage, and slices of Kraft single
Yeah.
cheese
Yeah.
slopped on. Like you would get fired from McDonald's if you produced that kind of thing.
The whole thing was like refugee simulation camp.
Yeah,
Have
it was.
you never been to a nightclub in Los Angeles? You spend
Oh,
a
the
lot
meals
of
there
money,
are terrible.
you get treated like shit. Like, I mean, that's what it is. Like, that's
The
this
supper
whole
club doesn't even
exclusivity.
serve supper.
Well, the funny thing is
Like,
that
it's-
like all these people went there and they're all like saying it's because this is when I did the story on News Dump. I was like, you gotta like it's fine to laugh at these people because they're not in harm's way. There is a
No.
sandals resort walking distance from where the fest was.
But what they did was the whole event was like it is a cashless event. You
Yeah, you had to
cannot
load up
bring
your.
cash. Yeah, you've got to
yeah.
load up
God.
your
Those people
wristband
they have
with
credit
the
cards.
cash.
There's ATMs. It's a normal island. It wasn't like they were literally on a
But if
private
they wanted to like get a
Fine.
taxi or anything like that, they
Credit card.
didn't have. Apparently, you needed cash to do all these small.
Oh my
things.
God, they were
had
stuck
no
on a
cash.
tropical
Bahama
island.
dollars.
It's so terrible.
Yeah, well, you
Whatever
just got to
will
go out in
you
the
do?
water and get some of those sand dollars, and then you spend those.
I'm just glad you didn't say dollary do.
Dollary-doo.
Dollary-doo.
So here's a great excerpt from this. It basically, she leads into this saying, artists were calling and not getting paid, and hey, don't worry, we're gonna get it to you. So it starts when Ja Rule came to do the set visit, and I gave him a lot of credit in our initial reporting of it. Like, I think he got conned by this Billy McFarland guy, and I still do think that he was conned. I guess the whole thing came about because they were on a private jet with each other and like just partying in the Bahamas, and for weather they had to like make a stop at this island because they're like, hey, we can't fly into Miami right now. They went there and they were just like,
This
if
would
you
be-
build it, they will
Will
come.
come, yeah.
We got to do a fest here, man. But so anyways, here, Ja Rule
And,
actually visited a month before everything went south. On Wednesday, Ja Rule arrived for a set visit. I don't know if he actually visited the site, but he did spend a lot of time on a yacht, according to his Instagram. Meanwhile, the event planners were holed up indoors, putting together a game plan and a budget. With so little having been prepared ahead of time, the official verdict was that it would take $50 million to pull off. Planners also warned that it would not be up to the standard they had advertised. The best idea, they said, would be to roll everyone's tickets over to 2018 and start planning for next year immediately. They had a meeting with Fyre execs to deliver the news. A guy from the marketing team said, let's just do it and be legends, man. At this point, it was pretty clear that this was a mess, and I shared my concerns with the man I reported to, but he assured me that the Fyre execs were legit and said that some socialite was underwriting the whole thing. The budget was okayed, and we were told to carry on with our planning. That night, Ja Rule gave a toast to living like movie stars, partying like rock stars, and fucking like porn stars. If Ja Rule is punished for
I just
anything,
cringed.
perhaps it should
Like,
be that.
cringed.
It was like,
I just,
Yeah.
and
so-
everyone had to pretend to like it. Like, yeah.
Yeah, so then everyone around her got fired except for her because she was the liaison to artists and they obviously needed her. And
my.
she left. And then, yeah, so
Did she say how much she got paid to do it?
Mark my
Apparently,
words,
it was very,
kids.
very bad pay. And
Next
it
year,
kept getting
this
lower as
time,
it.
everyone will be at Fyre Fest.
I
Mark
don't think
my
so,
words.
man.
No,
Think
I'm
so?
It's
going
even
to
spilling
completely
over-
disagree with you.
You want to make it interesting?
There's an exclusive festival
Yeah.
in Arizona
Bet you my
that's
tickets
being
to-
promoted right now, and it's the venue is capacity. The top capacity is 1,500 people, so it's ultra expensive.
Got it.
And they have like big artists, like I think Solange is playing, and so that even that festival, because it's an exclusive festival like that, the comments on their like Facebook posts are like, oh, okay, we see right through this. So it's like it's spilling over into hurting other
Fyre
festivals.
Fest Part 2, got it.
Yeah, but
It's,
the subreddit was a complete dumpster fire because it was half fake posts, half real posts.
Dumpster
This
Fyre
kind of is
Fest.
like how like fan festivals were 5 years ago or so, with stuff like Dash Cons. Like everyone, all of a sudden, nerd festivals started getting
Yeah.
bigger and bigger,
But
and
no
so
one knew how to
everyone
run
wanted
them.
to make one, but no one had event planning experience.
Yeah.
So
The
they were
irony
all
of it
fucking
is
up.
they started to look like what old Comic Cons used to look
Yeah.
like in the basement of a Holiday Inn near the airport with a
Yeah.
couple of tables
150
set up.
people.
And you're
Wait,
like,
we
this
need
is
medical
terrible,
insurance?
but also this is a Comic Con.
Yeah.
People are like, where's the Marvel booth where I can try on Thor's hat and run around?
Well, that's a great segue because we should talk about Guardians of the Galaxy. But first, we have some super chats. Jason Ishola, £5. That's like 20
Ooh.
American dollars.
Yeah.
When are you
No,
guys coming
actually,
back
it's
to
about $5.
Yeah, it's about even now. When are you guys coming back to London so I can buy you a bottle of single malt scotch? As soon as possible, then.
Dang.
We need to try out Beavertown Brewery. All right, I would love to go back. I think we might go in July or June for Mummy, maybe? I think we might go there for the Mummy.
Yeah, there's always stuff up in the air. We'll see.
Cameron Kaminsky, $5. Have a beer on me. I love how people just give us beer money. It's
Yeah.
it's going to produce and keep the lights on here, but we do. Yes, we
You
do
need
drink.
car money.
I need car money. Talk about the car though. My car burned down last week.
What the hell was that?
I know.
Some old man's porn stash caught on fire, and
burned my car down.
Ricky was parked next to this
Oh,
building,
God.
and
Yeah, it just
Yeah.
folded. It's actually being assessed right now by the insurance company, so hopefully I hear something by the end of the day.
it's
But
got to
the-
be a total loss.
Yeah, the entire left side of the car like drooped
Yeah.
to like 2 inches because
Yeah.
it's all cars are like plastic now.
But it shorted out the electrical system.
Yeah, because it was also plugged in and charging. So when the firefighters
A
came and
raging
hosed
fire,
everything
not
down,
like a little.
I
it was
saw a
a
photo and
raging
you're like, that's my car. And I was
fire.
like, that's a sad little joke.
when the firefighters came
Oh.
and sprayed down the house, they hit the box that my car was plugged into, and it started shooting sparks everywhere. And then Sanjin Masik, also $5. What happened to your car? I kept getting like all weekend, just like, dude, what happened? What happened? I was like, I've posted enough about this. I don't
Yeah.
want to like.
Did
look at the
Keys
video.
ever accept your car?
I just called them, and they finally admitted that it was there. So don't go to Keys Chevrolet
Yeah,
and
Keys
do
is
business
shady.
with them. Yeah, it was like they refused
Key.
to accept the car
Keys,
for like
keys,
days.
keys on Van Nuys.
Yeah,
boom,
that one.
boom, boom, boom. We won't accept your car.
If it's in an accident or a fire, doesn't matter whose fault.
We shirk our responsibilities as.
Also,
I
I've been
mean, it was just
And I've
just
been
terrible luck. But
tweeting
yeah, I
with
can't-
Chevrolet corporate, who like the
Get them
next day,
shut down.
The next day they were like, "This is unacceptable. Let's talk in DMs." And I was like, "Okay, cool." And then 5 hours goes by, and I'm like, "Hey, by the way, you've never hit me up on the DM. You haven't slid in there yet." And they're like, "Sir, this is of the utmost importance. We'll be in that DM real soon." And I was like, "Great, see you there." And then Sunday was the first I heard from them. They're like, "Please list your VIN number, email address," and I just sent it all, and I was like, filed my complaint against Keys Chevrolet, and then have not heard back from them since. So Chevrolet in general, not doing great.
I mean, your car legit like got caught on fire and like sort of melted.
Yeah, and I'm just like,
Blew up,
hey, by
like,
the way,
it was
my
not-
car was on fire. Can you please help me? And they're
It's not like one of those
nah,
like
nah.
I don't know, maybe no, like it was on fire and it
Yeah.
melted.
Gunther Slagathorn, $50. Thank you so much.
Whoa,
Hey
American?
guys, and the lovely Maude. I hope you all had a good weekend. Any plans for May 4th? I
Yes,
wish you all.
I'm going to Star Wars Cantina. Oh my God, may the force be with you.
Yeah, at least one of us is excited.
I wish you all the best. Keep at it, gangster.
May the
homies.
Star Wars movies continue to be
There is a cantina in
lukewarm.
Hollywood now. the Star
That's
Wars
what I've
cantina.
got.
Yeah, but it's,
Pop-up.
every
Scumdoney.
pop-up that comes to LA, it's like, oh yeah, that sounds awesome, but then you got to stand in line for 4 hours. I'm like,
Well, don't wreck it for me. This Thursday, May the 4th, I'm going to Scum.
yeah, but they're gonna be
Well,
like,
you're gonna, like,
you
they're gonna
come to the
walk
front
you
of the
in,
line,
yeah.
yeah.
Well, I don't know whether I'm going
Us
to dress up as
normies,
Vader
yeah.
or a Rogue Squadron or maybe a Jedi. I'm not
I
entirely
mean,
sure,
they have
but
a
I will
blue
be dressing
drink
up.
called Klingon Blood,
Wait, what?
which is a
Klingon?
little
Wrong
bit,
franchise.
Yeah.
but it's also Klingon Blood is green.
Yeah,
I'm just saying, and
Why
it's,
wasn't it
it's
blue
very
milk?
like
We
what,
did a cursory scan of the scripts once or twice to make the drinks.
I just think it's like one of those guys like nerds like stuff, right?
Yeah.
Sure, just make it a pop up for nerds.
This is going back with Fyre, the Fyre Fest. It's like just, they'll just take the money. And it's not cheap, this pop-up bar. And
How much is it?
It's 50.
Just to
50?
get in?
To get in there, burr?
But you get a drink
Oh,
And
one
you can
drink.
take a
Oh, great.
selfie.
I will
For
take
$50, you can
selfies.
get
Is there
a
a
wonderful
cantina
bottle
band?
of.
Guys, I am their target market, and I am okay with this.
That's what I mean.
wanna
It's
have
just
fun,
kind of a
though.
bummer that, like, I don't know. I'm very upset with current fandom nerd culture because
It's
just
getting too
pop
expensive.
culture. It's getting too expensive, and people miss the point. The
Yeah.
reason they like stuff isn't the reason I started liking it years ago, and I feel kind of salty. I'm a little bitter about it because everyone is just, they're flying that flag and like, man, I love Captain America, don't you? And I'm like, no, you like Chris Evans in an action movie. You don't like Captain America.
Why not both?
I wish it was both, but it's not.
Yeah.
Well, Captain America's like a black woman right now, right?
It's a black man, but yeah, whatever.
Yeah.
I thought it was a woman.
That's Iron Man.
That's up to her to decide. Or
Iron
him.
Man.
Yeah.
I
Marvel,
know.
Exactly.
Marvel's really mixing it up these days.
No, Marvel rolled the dice way too hard
Yeah.
on diversity. They were like, we got a Muslim lady and a this, and everyone's like, whoa, whoa, whoa. We were like, just make another black superhero. We didn't ask for everyone
and,
to become.
and people were like, wait a second, you changed every single superhero. They're like, you're right, diversity was a mistake. I'm like,
Yeah,
whoa,
like,
whoa.
whoa.
They took like
Sad.
they took both wrong sides of the
Yes.
argument.
Oh, man.
You're right, diversity was a terrible idea.
It's almost like they did it on purpose
Yeah.
to prove it wrong.
Oh, you want
We're all like,
diversity? We're just
okay,
going to
fine,
change
okay,
everything.
Fine.
Yeah.
It's you guys that said you want a white Tony Stark.
Yeah, exactly. Anyway, speaking of Marvel, Guardians of the Galaxy 2
Yes.
comes out
Oh, there's a
this week.
second one?
Yeah, it's already made over $100 million in the international box office,
Wow.
so it's looking like it's going to be absolutely gigantic. None of us have been invited to see it.
There are people that have gone to the press screening that I'm like, you are neither press nor do you deserve to see this in advance. Like,
Yeah.
I'm all over this.
Influencers.
I don't know who
Like
they
Maude.
I wasn't
Maude
there.
didn't say it. Maude's like the actual
I'm not
nerd.
one of you. Guys.
Have you done anything with Marvel or Disney? Any Star Wars stuff? Or
Yeah.
Okay, they just didn't decide to call you this time.
I bite my thumb
I
at
changed my
Disney.
number recently.
Oh, that's why.
Yeah.
Oh, when you change your number, your email changes too. We must have lost it when we
I got a
lost it.
virus in my email. I can't get any of it. Yeah.
I mean, are you? I'm excited about it. I've been completely putting on blinders to any marketing
Yeah.
and any articles about it because I've already seen like spoilers that aren't even spoilers. They're just like, oh, there's 5 things at the end of the movie. It's like, cool, thanks. I
5?
guess.
Yeah.
Yeah, 5
There's
post-credit
5
scenes.
post-credit scenes.
But there's
I
now
didn't
there's
know that
spoilers
'cause I've
going
been
around.
blinding so hard.
And yeah, so I don't know anything
I-
about what's going on, that is what has me excited about it.
I
Yes.
predict more of the same, but when the same is good, I'm okay with that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If it ain't broke.
If it ain't broke, don't fix it.
Plus, I mean, it's one of those movies that allows itself to have fun,
Yeah.
and that's part of the
Yes.
point. So
Yes.
it's
He's not taking it so
And it's
seriously.
a couple. You know, I'm not crazy what Disney does with Marvel movies. I don't like the serialization of motion pictures. I think you don't get a complete finished movie. It's just a carrot dangle from
Yes.
Yeah.
movie to movie. It's unsatisfying.
Yeah, it's like-
these movies are hard to watch a second time around. Like you
here's
try
how
to-
people come together. Here's a fight scene, and then
And
they
that's
go
it.
apart, and then
Yeah.
let's see how they come together next
It's all
time.
very nerfed.
Yeah.
You know, there's never any stakes. No one's gonna die. I think the fun thing about Guardians was it was.
You
a
don't know
comic-
that.
It's a 10-year-old comic book. It's
Yeah.
not like a beloved franchise. It was a really fun miniseries
Well,
when
it is now.
came out. Well, now it is, but it was a fun miniseries when it came out. When they were like, oh, they announced the movie, everyone was like, oh, that could be neat and weird. And
Yeah, they're like, oh, a
Gunn was
raccoon is gonna be,
directing.
and a tree that just says its name.
Yeah, and they like they clowned Vin Diesel and he didn't realize it, and he just went
Yeah.
in there and said, "I am Groot" 100 times.
Great job, Vin.
Well, I mean, I would
You
take
were-
that paycheck in a
Oh,
heartbeat.
yeah.
Yeah.
There's a mix of things. There's perfect casting.
Yes.
A brand new sort of director who was able to have a lot of flexibility. I mean, like when you
Compared
had
to other Marvel movies, especially.
Joss will never work in with Marvel or Disney ever again.
And
I
now
don't
he's doing
feel.
Batgirl,
That's it. He's jumped ship even now.
Yeah.
which
So-
I think could actually be great.
I think it'd be
And he
great.
wants
yeah.
an unknown for that one as well. I think it's like his new Buffy protege
Yeah.
that's coming up, which again, fantastic. But I think that they took so many risks, and we're in a space in film and movies right now that's bloated and inflated with all the superhero genres, et cetera, and nothing is a risk anymore. It's a guaranteed thing, and Star Wars is, I will admit it, is the biggest culprit of this right now. I mean, I remember, I'm a Star Wars fan, and I saw The Force Awakens, I was like, that was a 7. And I'm being
I
mad.
could not watch The Force Awakens again. on a
liked
plane.
it.
I was on a plane and I was
liked
like,
it.
please, let me just sit through this. And I was.
Rogue One.
Do
on
you
the
think
other
the
hand,
reason
I
might
did not
be
like at
that
all.
you're
I
not
loved
10
it.
years old anymore?
I do blame that a little bit. I think that there's a level of magic and it's kind of.
Yeah,
you know,
I
I'm
think a
an
lot of
adult
people,
man.
a lot of people went into The Force Awakens expecting to feel the same level of excitement they felt when they were a child watching the
Yes.
original trilogy. It's
Yeah.
like you are never going to feel that ever again.
No,
It's just not going to
Yeah, the
happen.
thing that
wasn't
sucked the worst is
expecting
that,
that.
when I was at that, I was a little bit older, but at the formidable age to really enjoy a movie, which is, I think I was maybe 13 or 14 when Episode 1 came out.
Yep.
And I remember like actually enjoying it because
Yeah.
Same.
it
I
was
did
fine,
too.
and I had no. I mean, there wasn't a bunch of assholes on the internet talking shit about it. I was just like, cool, it's a Star Wars movie that I get to see at the exact same time as everyone else instead
My
of
own Star Wars.
rewatching it
Yeah.
when it comes on TV or whatever.
I went to see the re-releases of the original trilogy when I was like probably 10, 12,
I remember that.
10 to 12 around
Yeah.
that range.
Mm-hmm.
And I would go like the night before opening night screening. My mom would drop me off. I'd just be there by myself. It was me and a bunch of like these old bearded men with, you know, bleach stained black Star Wars t-shirts.
Yeah.
And I was like, this is amazing. Like, I'm seeing these movies for the first time. And then when I saw Episode 1, I was really hyped for it. I really enjoyed it. We bought all the toys. All me and my
Yeah.
friends were like, this is awesome. You know, it was only later that we were like, probably wasn't as
Same. It
good.
took me like 5 years at
Yeah.
least.
And then
maybe
it was
more.
like, well, okay, it's actually a pretty bad trilogy.
Well, I mean,
But then-
the second one of that, I don't even know what the name of it is anymore.
Attack
Attack of the
Clones?
Clones.
Yeah, that one was like, it's like
Abysmal.
watching C-SPAN. It's like the Star Wars version of C-SPAN. Like Revenge of the Sith I thought was great. It was a great ending to
Well,
that.
shit actually happened.
Yeah.
in that one.
The whole
It's
second
dark
movie
and shit.
and part of the first was like, cool, let's go see what like the Galactic Congress is up to.
Yeah, the Trade Federation,
Great.
the whole story arc. And I think the problem with Star Wars is that they're catering to such a wide demographic. Like they've got to
Yeah.
appeal to 5-year-olds as well as 55-year-olds, and that's a really hard thing to do to keep everyone happy.
Yeah.
But coming back to Guardians of the Galaxy, they've kind of figured out their target market really well, but it isn't enough of a space that everyone can have fun and a good time. And I remember seeing the first one, and I was just like, I was stupidly clapping my hands, being like, "This was great!"
Yeah,
Like,
no,
I
loved
it.
I loved it. Yeah, it was.
Humor was on point. The casting was perfect. Like everything about it was just fun. And Chris Pratt, like it revived him. You know?
Yeah, it was like his. I mean, that and
Revive
Jurassic
the
World. I
cat-
think he was cast around the
started.
same
There
time.
it is.
Yeah.
Put some more
Yeah,
gas in
As
the
his
tank.
weight went down, his star power. He went from I looked it up the other day. He went from he was like 275.
Yeah, he
on
was fat in
Rec.
Parks and Rec.
And he,
Yeah.
and he
Big
went down
boy.
to two 235, but it's all muscle. Like
Yeah.
if he didn't have the muscle, he'd be like under 200 pounds.
He's he's always been a guy that's like, he has a built sort of just
Yeah. He's a
big
body
dude. He's
type,
not a small
but
guy.
he lets himself gain weight and
I interviewed
cover
him
it up.
about it, and he said that his wife loved feeding
Yeah,
him, and
yeah.
he loved eating the food.
Yeah.
So it was a perfect match.
Yeah.
But he just
Yeah.
said that the more that working out and diet consumes your life, the more it eats into your personality. And he's like, a lot of really gorgeous people are boring because, it's
It's all they care about.
chicken, broccoli.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna have 3 raw eggs for lunch, and that's
Yeah.
my
It's
life now.
really
Yeah.
Delicious.
I saw Guardians of the Galaxy in 4DX.
Oh yeah,
With the
No, 4DX is awesome. I don't
yeah,
know.
it is.
we did it for
We did it for San Andreas.
San Andreas.
The theater's
Just
on a
burning
hydraulic
smoke the entire
lift.
time.
So
What
the
is-
theater's on a hydraulic lift, and there's like air cannons and bubbles.
They spray
fall from
water
the-
on you.
It's awesome.
There's
It's
like
really
14
smells
points
into
of
the room.
manipulation.
Bullshit, yeah. So
Come on.
I used to
Squirt
live
water.
downtown Los Angeles is one of the few theaters that has that.
Yeah.
And but my wife doesn't like superhero movies. She doesn't like sci-fi, anything like that. So I was like, come out, it'll be fun. It's
like a
an
ride.
amusement ride, right? And she loved the movie. She thought it was really funny. I had a really good time. And so that's always, it did the job. And where other superhero movies, she's like, this is dumb. Why do you like
Yeah.
this?
I need to see this in 4DX to get a real picture. But we did it. We did a meetup. Like we told everyone we were going to go there. And we're like, we heard about this 4DX thing. They're releasing San Andreas in it, which is a disaster movie. And the first part of the movie is a helicopter flying over to rescue someone. And so the whole thing's like doing and the entire theater's cracking up laughing. And there's maybe 4 people in there that have no idea who we were, that we brought people. And they were like very angry at first, like, shh, I'm trying to enjoy the movie. You should definitely
It's-
go though
but
and give it a
it's-
shot.
Oh,
It's crazy.
sorry.
It's not like your seat rocks. It's like
It's like the Back to the Future ride.
Yeah.
Or the Simpsons ride at Universal.
I like that.
But for an
You're not
entire
actually-
movie.
for an
That's a
entire
bit
movie.
ridiculous.
It's not. It works.
Okay.
It works.
It's like $35 for a
Yeah.
ticket.
But that's still not that bad. I mean, IMAX.
You're
It's like
paying for the
18 or something
experience.
for ArcLight.
I saw Ninja Turtles there too. The first
In
Ninja
4DX?
Turtles in 4DX.
Man,
and
I
it still
tried
was
to-
unbearable.
Yeah,
every
I tried
kick-
to walk out of that movie, but I was on a plane and I still
Yeah,
contemplated.
well, you know who loved that movie?
I like
This
the first
guy,
one, not the
whose
second one.
name is on the box.
Ricardo.
It's not on the box. It was in the marketing though.
Oh,
But I
right.
really enjoyed it because I was a huge Ninja Turtles
Turtles
fan
fan,
growing
me too.
up. And when I saw this one, I was like, the worst they could do is there was a lot of things that could go wrong. But I thought that for what it was, the updated version with fucking like Johnny Knoxville as like Leonardo and like having all these other like human characters interacting with them, I thought that they did a fine job with it. The second
thought
one
the
though,
Turtles-
did not like it all.
I thought
Not
the
my
turtles
April
like
O'Neil.
looked good. I didn't at first. I was like, I'm not buying this. But in the theater, I thought the turtles looked good. I thought they captured their personalities.
That was the best
And
part. They captured
think
the
I just
personality
thought
perfectly.
that like the storytelling was so bad though. That like, I know it's a kids movie and I get that, and it's based off of like a comic book and a toy line, but. Just some thought, some care. Like, why does everything have to be rewritten and reworked?
Well, and in the second
see
one-
it when you're a filmmaker. You're like, don't. Like the shooting style is different when they shoehorn the Shredder stuff in there, because Shredder was supposed to be the dude that's in all those movies.
Yeah.
And I don't know his name.
Well, the second one was such
Jackie
a
Chan?
ridiculous
Oh, yeah.
spectacle because of Krang and the
Bebop
planet-
and Rocksteady? Or-
Yeah, Bebop and Rocksteady were great, but
Dimension X?
they were rarely used. And in the second one, explicitly, they could never use their weapons, which was a big bummer. Like in the first one, they would hide the fact with the hard cuts and stuff like
Yeah.
that, but they explicitly did not touch their weapons in the second one, which I was like,
They're
come on,
ninjas.
it's a cartoon basically on live action.
Yeah, but
but
you don't want kids going in the kitchen and pretending to be
grabbing some
Raphael. and
nunchucks.
then
I mean, I
killing their
definitely
sister.
had nunchucks. Like,
I would do that all the time as a kid.
yeah, not anymore.
Mom?
Let's see. Oh, did anyone watch American Gods?
Oh, is that out?
Didn't.
That's why I didn't watch it because I didn't know
Because
it
it's
was
on
I've just
Stars.
read it. I read the whole book.
Oh, really?
Yeah, the book's great. I'm a
Apparently,
big fan of it.
the reviews of the show are fantastic. It
Yeah?
just came out on Stars.
Neil
I have
Gaiman?
Yes,
Yes.
and premiered last night.
I've seen a clip of it of Orlando Jones being a character called Mr. Nancy, who's Anansi, one of the African gods. It is visually stunning, like great acting.
The trailer looks amazing.
Like I didn't get to see it last night because I was playing Dungeons and Dragons. But my priorities.
Nerd.
Dork.
Totally lit a griffin on fire to try and escape a room,
Totally
but
Lady
whatever.
Griffin on fire.
Okay. So I'm excited to see this one, but I do recommend reading the book, and I always like to read the material before I see it.
How long's that book though?
I mean, I read it in 4 increments of,
Years?
4 weeks.
Oh,
4 weeks.
It's like I want to read The Dark Tower before that movie comes out, but it's
Read The
literally
Dark
like
Tower.
10,000 pages to get
No,
through.
I read that
Also-
in a month as well. I mean, a book
Also,
month.
the
There's
Dark
the whole-
Tower. So the Dark Tower books have little to do with the movies.
They have an
Oh,
abridged
really?
version.
It's you could read the Wikipedia page and be
Okay.
ready for the movie.
Well,
But it's a great book.
No, it is. But I'm saying don't read it to
amazing.
like prep yourself for the movie. Read it if you want to read it. Don't like.
Yeah, no, everyone I know who's read it is like swears by it.
Yes.
I don't think it's great.
Okay, so not everyone I know.
I can't
I
keep
think
disagreeing
it's-
with you. I am. I disagree with you.
You are allowed to disagree with me.
Okay,
It
here we
is
go again.
America,
I
but
disagree.
it's not Australia where you
not
can't have it.
What?
not from a prison planet. You know,
Yeah.
it's a different.
What?
Yeah,
Guys.
it's fine.
Have you been? Oh, you love Australia.
I think it's
I
kind
think
of
it's
cool.
great.
I've never been.
Yeah, except for the whole like you can't go outside without like SPF 90 because your skin
Oh
will
yeah,
get
we are
cancer.
close to the ozone layer.
Yeah, a lot of
there.
And the
skin
fact
cancer
that
out
like
there.
you guys have just destroyed the barrier reef.
Yeah.
We would never let something
Wow.
like that happen.
I
in
know.
America.
You know, here in America, we care about the environment.
Yeah,
Yeah,
just look at the
so
Gulf
true.
of Mexico.
And we fund our EPA to make sure that something like that could never happen.
We have trees.
Yeah, they were like,
have
"Hey, should we
trees.
blow up this
Compelling
oil
argument.
tanker in the Gulf? I don't know, Gulf of Mexico. It sounds like we can get away with it." So, in other movie news, before we move on to watch some trailers, Rampage, believe it or not, is still happening, and it's, as everyone should know, it is a video game adaptation.
It's not even a good video game. I didn't love it.
Well, you get to.
Well,
eat
how
people
old
in
are
it.
you? Because if you played it on
Oh,
the
jeez.
Nintendo,
How
Nick?
dare you?
I don't mean it like.
Oh man.
If you played it on the Nintendo when it
24.
first came out, it was a pretty awesome
Yeah,
game.
or the
like the
arcade
arcade.
version. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it's a
It's the
dumb
opposite
game.
of Tetris.
It's not a whole lot of lore to draw upon for a
Well,
film
so
adaptation.
here's
but,
what that's exactly what Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson posted about is what the hell is this movie going to be about?
Yeah.
And then one great note at the bottom, which gives me some hope. But
someone on the roof.
Dwayne Johnson says this: I head up an anti-poaching unit out of Rwanda. My best friend is a rare albino gorilla named George. Very bad people infect George. An alligator and very bad people infect George, an alligator, and a wolf with a serum. All three animals grow at an unprecedented rate. Their size, speed, agility, and violent aggression is off the charts. They go on a deadly rampage and want to destroy the world. George, not happy. Me, not happy. When animals like you, they lick you. When they don't like you, they kill you. I will hunt down the bad people who did this to my best friend, and when I find them, I will not lick them. We have
Who's this
we have the
written by?
best visual effects monster making team, Weta,
Oh,
on the
that's
planet.
great.
Yeah,
Our
they did a great
actors and
job
crew
with,
have been
Green
working
Lantern.
very hard to raise the monster genre bar. As always, let's have some fun.
Do you know why Rampage is going ahead and why they're throwing money at it? Because they need something to compete with Godzilla and King Kong.
Yeah, and they have they have the exact same thing, like the same lineup, except with a giant wolf as well.
I can't
Yeah.
wait to see Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson, because the whole movie is just going to be him like, George, this isn't you. George, it's me, Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson,
Yeah.
your
Please
friend,
stop
your
tearing
best
down
friend.
that building.
George, please.
I was a real.
I'm gonna get the people who did
I was
this
a
to you.
WWF Rock fan back in the day, so I've been a
Rocky Maivia.
Rocky
Rockhead? I've been a
Rocky
Rockhead.
Maivia into The Rock,
Yeah.
the People's Elbow, all that nonsense. Scorpion King, Mummy
I was
Mummy
there.
Returns, Scorpion King.
Yeah.
I am so annoyed and like fed up with The Rock and anything.
No.
The guy is just The Rock.
I
He's just
disagree.
being The Rock.
He's so charming.
No,
He's
the
the
best.
best guy on the planet.
No, he
Thumbs
just
up
does.
for me.
He's so great.
I want him to be president.
I don't understand
The
why
Rock
he's
is
affiliated
like
with
he's
this.
just cheap heat. He knows how to work a crowd.
No.
He knows how to work everyone. He knows what
he
to
does it the
say.
best.
He is the
He does
most
it the best.
charismatic man in world entertainment.
And he's a
The
good
most
person
electrifying
in
man.
general.
He is phenomenal.
Yes, I know. I like The Rock.
I want him to
I'm
walk
just
in right
saying.
now. I want him to kick open the door.
What'd you say about me?
Yeah.
I'll be like, yo, motherfucker, I waited in line at Foreman Mills in South Philadelphia to get your autograph when you were the Intercontinental Champion. So I don't even
And he
need
left
to-
right before you got it, and that's why you've hated
No,
it.
he was just all
yeah.
sleepy. He was just like, all right, what's up?" And me and my brother were like, we love you. And he's like, all right, cool, man, thanks.
But that's before he became the inspiration.
But he's such a
He was still
cheap-
playing the character.
You
back
are holding on to something so personal
Yeah.
right
Yeah.
now.
It is very personal to me.
Yeah.
I told you that.
Sounds like,
I'm very
sounds
bitter.
like you're just jealous.
Maybe
I am
a little
not
jealous,
burnt
but
out on The Rock yet. Maybe Jumanji will be the one that does it. I don't know.
I just don't like.
I don't
he
think
makes these
Baywatch is
bad
gonna be
movies,
fine.
be
I
like,
think-
right, guys, they're bad, but like we're having fun, right? And everyone's like, yeah, man, we're having fun.
Fast and Furious 8 is the third week in a row for exactly that. That's really bad.
The
but
man
we're
is
all
a real
having
life
I
fun.
will
superhero.
beat you like a Cherokee drum. I want to die when I hear that line. I want to
That series would be shit without Dwayne Johnson having come in halfway
and
through.
revitalizing it.
Yeah, he is the star now.
Yeah.
And that's
He has
why
got a
Vin
few
Diesel.
I mean, I guess I can't argue he's the biggest star in the world, right?
So Jumanji,
Baywatch?
I'm looking at like, okay, that's probably not for me.
Yeah.
Like any
I
kind of
loved
nostalgia.
that movie,
I mean, I loved the movie, but that I've come to realize that because I liked something when it was original and came out back then, doesn't necessarily like the Ninja Turtles thing. Doesn't necessarily mean I'm going to like it now. Like Jumanji is going to be for kids. Baywatch I'll probably enjoy because
I think
it's just-
Baywatch will be fun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But then this Rampage movie, it's like, I don't know who that's for yet because that's the only
In
information that's
San
out.
Andreas, right? His daughter looked like his love interest for a lot.
Because he's a wonderful,
ageless.
wonderful looking man.
That happened in Transformers as well.
Yeah,
With Mark Wahlberg?
Yeah.
Marky Mark.
Yeah, that was weird.
Yeah, there's like always kept
What?
zooming in on her butt.
Is that my daughter, Bumblebee? Is that my love interest or my daughter?
Damn, look at that ass. And then she
Wow.
turns around and is like, oh,
That was
it's my
really
daughter.
good.
Thanks.
Well, you
Very
know, with
good.
Trump in office, it's a pretty normal thing for old men to be in love with their daughters.
Gross. What
Yeah.
was the movie or the franchise or the series that did get rebooted? When did Hollywood realize that nostalgia was money?
Star Wars,
Was it?
Phantom Menace.
I mean, I'd say probably the Hollywood obsession with this, I think, started with stuff like Nightmare on Elm Street and Halloween, like
Even
these
before
horror
that,
franchises
remember
where they
Dukes
could
of
just.
Hazzard? Dukes of Hazzard.
Oh, Charlie's Angels.
Charlie's Angels.
Oh,
Dukes of
yeah.
Hazzard.
There it
Those
is.
were the soft,
Transformers
like,
is essentially,
Transformers. It's
Yeah,
like, I
80s.
think the real nostalgia was like going back and reinventing was that around the Dukes of Hazzard, Charlie's Angels, where we're like, we can take these properties
Everything
that we
from the
own
70s and
already.
80s.
And,
Yeah.
Yeah,
And then it
yeah,
just
that
kept
was probably
going.
like
The Beverly
thing that
Hillbillies
kickstarted.
with Jim
I love
Varney.
that movie.
Beverly Hillbillies.
I loved that movie where they shows up to the wedding in the monster truck. You all remember the part.
I remember.
Anyways,
I don't know.
it was a great movie.
I don't know,
Dennis
you
the
know.
Menace,
Oh,
great
yeah,
movie.
yeah. Walter
Menace.
Matthau,
Yeah.
R.I.P.
And then I think obviously once the superhero genre caught on, it was over with. Like it was
Yeah.
like we're just going to be remaking movies forever.
that
Like
was-
The Dark Knight came out and it was like
That was it. Yeah,
there you go.
Dark
There
Knight.
you go.
You can Schumacher didn't ruin it after all.
Now we'll let Zack
You love
Snyder
those
ruin
movies,
it.
don't you?
I really like Jim Carrey.
I do too.
as-
I think they're great movies.
Batman
Mr.
Forever should not get flack because Batman Forever was the right amount of fun and camp and weird and it all
I
It's a
worked.
loved
stupid
it.
movie, but the performances by Jim Carrey and Tommy Lee Jones were like just so
So
perfectly
great.
over the
Yeah.
top.
Well, no,
They're
it's that is a time capsule when
Yeah.
people ask like what was the 90s really like outside of like the
Fucking
Bill
Batman
Clinton
Forever.
blowjob and like Kosovo and all the dark stuff. Like what was the 90s? And
Batman
you showed
Forever.
them.
Afraid of the big black bat.
Yeah.
Yeah, Batman Forever. I distinctly remember that came out on the last day of school when I was in like I think like 4th grade.
Yeah.
And the theater was packed. Everyone went
No,
to go
the
see
world
it.
was
Everyone was
lit for
clapping at the
Batman.
beginning, like the opening
Yes.
credits. Yeah, it
Yeah.
was a fucking
So this
event.
was before Super Size Me. You got the McDonald's glasses. Remember they were
Yeah.
all the different.
Collect them all.
Everyone was at McDonald's buying like Batman Forever Happy Meals and shit. Like this was
They would
before
only
Super
have been-
Size
Life
Me.
was
and
good, nostalgia.
Life was good.
The only thing that would have made that movie perfect is if instead of Batman and Robin, Alicia Silverstone was in that because she was the 90s.
Yes.
Like
She really
She was
blonde
bigger then than she
bombshell
was
in
for-
everything. Like those, she was in like those Aerosmith music videos.
Oh, yeah,
That's
yeah.
right.
Yeah.
What's she doing
You're
these days?
compost.
Probably like going to like Clueless 20th anniversary screenings or something.
Sad.
Funny you should mention these Batman films because I have a new channel called
Oh, yeah,
Action
promote it.
Figures, and we're tackling how we would reboot and remaster Batman and Robins as our first episode of remasters.
So that's what
So-
I remembered that earlier, and this is a good question for you too.
Yeah.
Since Joss Whedon is doing Batgirl,
Yeah.
what do you think? Do you think he's going to start with like that origin, or do you think he's going to pick up somewhere? Like, is he going to go like pick off of the Killing Joke kind
Does
of?
he?
That'd be
no,
kind of a downer.
How?
Yeah, but
She's been like blood and
I
yeah, and then
think
she
go one
gave
of
Bill's
two
a robot
ways.
legs.
Yeah.
worked for Darth Maul.
To tie into, because I think like DC is trying to cram continuity in their movies now, which
Yeah.
I don't really agree with. I think all these characters can kind of stand alone. They make more sense standing alone. But I think what they're going to do is have her be the current like Batgirl from the comic where she's been Oracle, she's been paralyzed by the Joker, she used to team up with Batman back in the day, and you're going to get all those flashbacks. And it's kind of her dealing
She gets
with
her
a catch-up.
She gets her
It's a
pearls caught on the
catch-up.
Joker's gun, and then slow motion it breaks them. and-
Yeah.
But I do think that's what's going to happen with it. I think you're going to get an entire contextualization of her kind of comic book history so we don't get mired in an origin story. That's the worst
Well-
thing they could do is mire it in an origin story.
That's what, I mean, they're doing the exact opposite of what Marvel's obviously doing, because Marvel
Yeah.
started almost with their origin stories and then built up once they were fleshed out and then teamed them up, whereas DC's teaming them all up and trying to tell
It's a
everyone's
mess.
story
It's a
at
mess.
once. So I agree that DC really need to start working on standalone movies, which they're doing with Wonder Woman, which they tried to do, even like bloody Superman. The sequel of Superman was Batman v Superman. So it's like
Yeah.
he didn't even get his own
It
real
was a Batman
sequel.
movie.
Yeah.
The best
was
thing I
not
saw
a
about
Superman
Aquaman
movie.
recently was someone posted a photo of him with his trident. And it was like his trident has 5 points on it. That says everything you need to know about these
DC,
movies.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's
I do think Aquaman's going to be the runaway hit. I think he's going to be, because I
I want it to be Wonder Woman.
yeah. I want Wonder Woman to
Do you
be
know why?
very
Because we've got a
successful.
female director on it, and if a movie with a female lead and a female director bombs, we won't. It happened with Catwoman 17 years ago. It took us 17 years to get another.
I don't think Wonder Woman will bomb because I don't think it can. I think in the court of public opinion, now we're not talking about box office.
You think
No,
people are
didn't
going to
we-
guilt view it?
Didn't we think that
I'm
about
not saying-
Suicide Squad and BVS?
I'm not saying that.
It can't possibly be bad.
Well, I
No,
guess
no,
I gotta
but-
see Wonder
but
Woman.
They
made
were really
money.
successful. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
So right now, DC's trying to win the battle of the court of public opinion. But Wonder Woman, there is not going to be a single blogger. I don't care if the movie's as lukewarm. It's not going to be bad. Like let's face it, it's not going to be bad. It's going to be a fun action adventure. It might not be a great movie, but much like the all-female cast of Ghostbusters, and I don't,
Which I thought was a great movie.
Great movie.
Have you seen it yet?
You don't like it?
No.
I'm going to disagree
I didn't
with
see
you.
it. I didn't
Okay,
see
cool.
it. I didn't see the
It's
movie.
a fine movie.
But
And
great.
that movie
not
was
gonna
like
get anyone-
that was insane. How people hated it so much. And I'm like,
Yeah, it was a real dark
But
time
stupid,
for
dumb, immature
fandom.
fanboys hated it. But I don't
Yeah.
think any of the publications, I don't think any critics panned that movie. And I don't think that's going to happen with Wonder
It did
Woman.
get panned.
Because it's a female lead, because it's a female director, I think it's going to be very positively received.
I hope so.
yeah, I'm very excited to see it. What do you think
Just
about
a little bit, not
do you
what
agree
Marvel's
with
doing with their comics.
Yeah.
the fact that like over the weekend and late last week, like people were up in arms about the lack of marketing, or do you think it's like,
That's
hey,
right.
by the way, it's still a month and a half out? Or
It's going to be
whatever.
a hard push. They can't compete with Guardians.
Yeah.
If you start
Yeah.
marketing, if you start doing Wonder Woman stuff this week, next week, people are like, what?
Yeah.
I'm watching Guardians, leave me alone.
So we do
agree.
have perfect time to show off the clip that we do have, because so happens today that they put out a new TV spot for Wonder Woman. So
Awesome
we have
spot.
that. Dylan, let me know when you're playing it so we can watch it over here.
Are we talking over the thing?
Turn your mic on.
And no, they'll
So I can, if we're going to play it, I can run out.
Have you never met a man before? What about your father?
I had no father. I was brought to life by Zeus.
Well, that's neat. Tough luck. Who is this woman?
You will soon find out.
Wonder Woman.
Is there anything else you want to show me?
Rated PG-13. Experience it in IMAX 3D.
So that
Okay.
was
Do you know my favorite? When do we talk about this?
right now.
Oh.
It's already off the screen for them. Yeah, that's.
Do you know my favorite part about that?
What?
I didn't hear the Wonder Woman theme.
Oh, okay, yeah, because that's been.
I don't like.
You don't?
That was the one thing that Hans Zimmer didn't play at Coachella that I was like, God, I know he did it with Junkie XL, but like
Yeah.
it would have been so cool to see that live.
Live, yes. That was like grating for me.
Yeah.
I love that.
It was a
like
risk that didn't pay off for me.
But the thing about the
Music was
trailer, the
great.
one thing that I'll point out is like, and it's not a bad thing, but it looks like there's a exact recreation of the Batman warehouse fight scene, which was the best
Yeah.
part of BVS.
True.
So if they have like fight choreography like that constantly throughout the movie, like, hey, that's great.
It's like the old Disney animation in the 60s where they just started reusing frames for everything.
Yeah, like Baloo's dance
Like,
was like
is
the
that
dance.
cheap?
of
Yes, that's right.
Let's put a bear in the
They have
another
one
movie.
scene of a bunch of people in green morph suits just acting it out. They just keep putting different superheroes over it.
What else? I want to know why they decided to really change the hue of the movie. Like it's a lot of blues and like
Well, I
kind
think
of.
they obviously got that note with BVS where it's like everything sucks. It's all brown and gray.
It's really
And then they had the
gloomy.
person who did the fan remake of Man of Steel where they actually changed it
they
to what it
bumped
should
the
look like, and it's like
saturation.
this looks great.
Yeah. So why do they? I mean, I want to know why. But
There's still a lot of scenes that look like that.
I mean, actually, there's shit that takes place during the day in beautiful natural settings. I'm like,
Yeah.
oh, that's beautiful, nice colors. I love colors.
yeah. Plus,
But-
we get to see World War I, which is something that
It's the hottest
we
war
haven't
right now.
really.
Yeah.
What was the last one for that one? Captain America. Well, that was still World
it was
War
World
II.
War
World War
Yeah.
II, right?
Two.
Battlefield
that was
1.
two, but like this is. Yeah, that's video games. Cool.
It's video games, yeah.
Yeah. But the lasso looks amazing. Like when you have the doom and gloom, and then that comes out, it's like this ethereal light almost. So I like that.
Do you think there will be a invisible plane? At least
No,
reference.
there won't be an invisible plane.
Well, isn't he a pilot? Isn't
Yeah, no, she's
I-
flying next to him.
I think you'll probably get a gag. Where
Yeah.
I think Chris Pine is going to really shine in this movie. I'm a big fan
He's
of Chris
funny.
Pine.
I don't
He's
like
great.
him without
Funny.
a beard. Can I be really superficial?
You don't like him without
Yeah,
a beard?
No, all through Star Trek, they shave him, and then when he has a beard, it's like,
Let
whoa.
that man be natural.
The one time I saw him in public, it was at the ArcLight. We were seeing the same movie, apparently. Apparently, between movies, he just grows like the most homeless-looking beard possible.
Yes.
And I was like, "You're not fooling me. You still have those beautiful emerald blue eyes. You are still the most
You
handsome
still
man
smell
in the
the
room."
same. What?
Yeah. He just
He's got
the
that
harder he
fine-
tries to make
fine,
himself
fresh
look
smell.
ugly, the prettier he gets.
Do you know what I realized? He complimented me in an interview once. He wanted to know about my shoes to the point where I had to take them off and find out what the shoes
Oh,
were.
you just
Did
wanted
you
to get
find
those
out about
shoes
this
off.
because you were rewatching it because you were like, remember when I was
Remember
in
that
the
one
same room as that
time?
guy?
No, he did it to a bunch of journalists. That was
Did he
his thing.
smell it?
No.
Is he tiny, Chris Pine?
No.
Average, about 5'10", 5'11".
No. What?
Average.
I think
Yeah, look it up.
I think he's. Oh, everyone I feel like on IMDb is 6 feet. Really, we all know what that means.
Right. Yeah.
Phew.
6 feet on an apple box.
That's
We've
it.
got one more.
That's where I'm like
I
one
don't
of the
think
few people
super
taller
chats
in
have
real life.
updated yet. If there
I'm
are
gonna look
any.
up his height.
Is it the Origin trailer?
No.
Oh.
We
You
have.
guys watch the Wonder
Because
Woman Origin?
since Maude is terrified of horror movies, I made sure to find a horror movie trailer.
Oh no.
Why would you do that?
It actually premiered, or they did a surprise screening of it at the Overlook Fest.
Oh, he's 6 feet tall.
What did I say?
I doubt he's 6 feet.
Tom Hardy's only 5'9". What?
No.
Yeah, Tom
he's
Hardy,
a little
of course.
guy.
Chris Evans 6 foot. Hemsworth 6'3".
Yeah.
Ooh, how tall
I
is
am legit
Chris
6 feet
Pratt?
tall.
Chris
Dude,
Pratt
stand up.
is
No, you're not.
6'2".
Ooh, I've snapped out, guys.
I told you.
She's got like 6-inch heels.
I know.
Yeah, feed your kids Vegemite.
No, but
they'll grow like trees.
Being an actor out here, when you run into other actors like, yeah, I'm 6 feet, I'm like,
We get it. You're an actor.
Oh,
I'm
are
not
you
an
not?
actor anymore.
Ex-actor.
No, I don't know.
Game of Dreams.
Why you have to do that?
So
I
we
didn't
do
mean-
have this actually they did a surprise screening, not the final version of the movie at the Overlook Fest this weekend, but
Which sounded awesome. I'm so pissed. They did like buried people alive, and you saw
What?
your own death and stuff like that. They did a
What?
bunch. Yeah.
What the fuck are you talking about?
they did it at the
The
Overlook
Overlook-
Hotel from The Shining.
From The
It's
Shining.
not a real hotel.
But they did it at
No.
the real hotel where they filmed it at. And
They filmed it on a set.
No. The set was modeled after the hotel.
You understand what we're saying.
Where was
the
this?
exterior hotel.
We're
it's like
fucking
Colorado.
was a hotel.
Yosemite?
They didn't.
Shayla.
Your friend went.
It's by Colorado. It's in Colorado.
Who's that?
Okay.
Who's my friend?
God,
I'm drawing
Elliot,
a
yes,
blank right
everyone
now,
knows
but,
it was a set, and it was
the other
extremely hot
Australian.
in the set.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, it was.
There's another
Because
Australian.
The one that
all
doesn't
the
work
light
for
bouncing
IGN.
from like the
Yeah.
An Australian
That'll
that doesn't
happen.
work.
With the red hair.
Australian that doesn't work for IGN with the red hair.
Alicia Malone.
that's-
Malone. Yeah.
you forgot Alicia Malone.
Just her name.
Oh, I can't believe it.
I-
She's my best friend.
And
I'm
you
like,
forgot, yeah.
Wow,
What?
you guys are both terrible. I'm
She
telling
was
her.
there, yes.
I'm telling
I
her.
hate to see your
So she probably
enemies,
saw this,
right?
but-
How do you treat them?
Even though it's not the final version, people were loving it. It's from A24, who has a pretty great track record.
So what's this called?
It's called It Comes at Night.
Oh, they sent me something in the mail. It was a real waste of postage. Like one of those. It was a card with a sound chip in it, but like, it didn't say the name of the movie on it. So I was like, well, thanks A24 for this gag gift.
All right,
that I don't even know
let
what
me
it's
know when the trailer's
advertising.
playing.
I just want to talk. And I want honest answers. Do you have any idea what's going on out there? I'm gonna try and help you and your family.
I want to thank you again for letting us stay here.
Just gonna run through a few things. When we go out during the day, we like to stick to groups just for safety. The red door. It's the only way in and out of the house. It stays closed and locked all the time. I have the keys. It's the only set. Most important thing.
What's he see?
It's okay. Just go inside. We never go out at night.
The door was already open when you got there.
Yeah.
Then who opened it?
I think they're sick.
Put your mask on. Nobody's sick here. Can't trust anyone but family.
You don't get it.
How old are you, Travis?
If they're sick, then I am too.
If you're lying to me, I will kill you.
Yeah.
That's the.
I'm not really clear on what this is about, but
The
it looks
premise
spooky.
for me feels like it's like 10 Cloverfield Lane, where it looks like a paranoid man, you
Yeah.
know, is crazy, but is actually in the right and he is protecting against.
Right.
It's like The Thing. It seems like there's a thing that they spread around and it turns you into a monster.
What's the
and-
thing? I have no idea.
Tucker and Dale versus
Thing.
Tucker and Dale
John
versus
Carpenter's
Evil,
The Thing?
but serious.
What is it?
The Thing, John Carpenter.
The classic.
It's like,
they're stranded
It's like
in
Alien, but it takes
really-
place in Antarctica.
I don't know
Yeah.
if you've noticed, but I'm not good with horror and I don't watch them ever.
But
What about
It's not
sci-fi
really a
horror?
horror. It's
I
a
guess
suspense.
I can get a bit better. I don't know
it's
if
like
I'll
a
see
sci-fi
Alien.
suspense thriller.
Did you see Don't Breathe?
No.
Because that was probably the scariest thing I've seen recently. Get Out was good, but it wasn't like
I watched,
terrifying.
It was a bit
I watched
scary
The
for me.
Invitation this week.
The Invitation is fucking
It is
fantastic.
one of the best movies
gotta
I've
watch
seen.
it.
Yeah,
in a
that
long
I
time.
was blown away
What's
by that.
that
I was
one?
like, why is no one talking about
No
this
one,
fucking
no one's
movie?
saying anything. It's,
What is it?
It's a psychological thriller.
Yeah, it's horror, but like more. Yeah, it's nothing supernatural. It's just.
I would say it's a psychological thriller.
Yeah,
Like, it's very
It is
tense.
so fucking good though.
Is it out now or is it?
It came out a year ago. It's
Yeah,
on
it's on
Netflix, and
Oh, great.
yeah, it was just like
no one talked about it. It's
Yeah.
amazing. It has a great cast.
Yeah, it's one of the best
It looks
written
beautiful.
thrillers
What
I've ever
happened?
seen.
It's like the Tom Cruise movie all over again. Live, Die, Repeat. The Edge
Oh,
of
yeah,
Tomorrow.
yeah.
Such a great movie. No one really talked about it. Didn't get.
I think this one is just like hard to market because it's like, how do you market a like 90-minute sense of dread that keeps building on itself? That's
Well,
just
that's,
based on,
that's how
like-
Don't Breathe was.
Yeah, but that one like at least had something scary. Like this one, it's just like you aren't even sure what's gonna happen until it happens.
What's the premise?
It's like a house party, but like it turns out the people holding the house party are sort of involved in like a cult, maybe.
But like a very California style cult. Like,
Yeah.
get in touch with your
But
feelings.
shit just keeps
type
getting
stuff.
like weirder and weirder
This is
throughout
why
the
the
night.
movie didn't do well, guys.
Yeah, but
They can't even elevator pitch it themselves, probably.
it's hard to explain, but it's
No.
so good.
And I was going to say that like I think the audience, the target audience for most of horror is
Not me.
teenagers, and I think people that are looking to just
We're gonna
do
make out in
something
the
on a
theater.
Friday night. I don't think it's you know you can't sell a movie like The Exorcist today because people will be like,
No,
"This
it
is
would do
boring."
really well on something like A24. It would be like one of
Yeah.
those movies where it would generate its own marketing based on people who have seen it.
Yes.
Although every time I rewatch The Exorcist, like the beginning, I'm always like, why the fuck are they in Egypt again?
That's where he awakens the demon.
Yeah, I know, but it's just like I
And it
always
makes
like,
the dogs attack people.
I love
Yeah.
The Exorcist.
I've not seen that either.
Wait,
Oh!
what?
No, guys.
That was
You're
not even
missing-
scary. It's just like
Your crippling
good.
fear of ghosts and ghouls
The
is
Exorcist, if you're The Exorcist, I saw
Yeah,
The
the first
Exorcist when
time
it
probably,
re-released
yeah.
in theaters.
It's
and
a
me and
scary
my
fucking
uncle,
movie.
It scared us to death.
The scene where
We were two grown men and we were like, why did we do this to ourselves?
Okay, I agree. It was the
It's a very scary movie.
I saw it when I was a teenager, and it was for the re-release, like the whatever anniversary, and I was like, the theater's gonna be packed, and I was the only one in the theater.
Oh, dear
so I
God.
watched it alone, and it was with the added scenes, like the spider walk, and
Yeah,
like the
oh,
they
yeah.
added
Spider
more.
walk is so.
They added more of the face, like in the attic when like the light would flicker and you'd see the face and stuff.
I
so,
saw
yeah.
it, the first time I saw it was as I was like 11 years old, and I was still like devoutly Catholic, which just added even more
That's yeah,
like
when I
terror to the
saw
whole
it,
thing.
It's like, oh, it's
Like, this
God,
is
it's
real.
Yeah,
Yeah,
great
that's what they
movie.
teach you in Catholic school, that there are people that are possessed by demons.
Yeah.
That's a real thing. It's not like
Oh, the thing was, it was
an
based off of
allegory
an
or
actual.
some
No,
type of.
it's- this is a documentary.
Like, there are people in South America who are possessed by demons right now.
Yeah. Well, you have a lot of homework to do, Maude.
Yeah.
Watching all these horror movies.
Can I not?
You should take like Xanax or something. Get a prescription.
And then just a glass of wine.
Go
think I would have,
go
like-
see a psychiatrist and explain it. Like, look, I'm supposed to work in media. I need to be able to know about these things, but I have a crippling fear of all horror films.
There's so much else
gonna
that I
binge 'em.
can get involved with. It is hard when like, you know, a job comes to me and they're like, can you do this junket? And I'm like, sounds great.
We've
Ooh.
all seen that. We shouldn't bring it up.
No.
Yeah, let's not bring up the video.
Yeah, don't Google
No, no,
Maude.
no, no, no.
Anyway, cool. I did
Anyway,
do the
cool.
I did the
Anyway,
Conjuring
cool.
junket.
All right.
We're gonna get out of here. Thank you guys for watching. But Maude,
Plug.
where can people find you aside from Googling that video?
At Maude Garrett on all social media, and jump over to Geek Bomb on YouTube, where I talk about Star Wars and stuff.
You gotta have us on for the podcast that you do, where you talk about things that we watch and stuff.
Powered, playing, watching, reading, doing.
Yes.
Yes, you should read American Gods.
I'm gonna watch the show instead.
Okay.
As I do with most books.
Yep, fair enough. All right, that's it.
When are they gonna put out a book for running a YouTube channels for dummies? I gotta watch that.
I think they
That's a pretty good
probably
idea.
exists.
No, the video version.
Oh.
Yeah.
Can I get a quick
No,
plug?
please, yeah, because you have a new channel that's
Yes.
launching very soon.
We are launching this week on
And
Wednesday. YouTube.com/actionfigures. It's a channel devoted to comic books, fandom, but we're coming from that comic book angle, so it's super nerdy, but it's a fun twist. You got Phil Arrigo, you guys all love him. He's going to be as funny and as sarcastic as he can be, and we're going to be introducing a whole bunch of new people. We got Flitz from Smosh Games. He's going to be helping us out with the channel. We should be at Maude on some shows.
Yes.
So check it out, guys. Subscribe now, but we are dropping content this week.
And just all you can do for us is not unsubscribe.
Do your Australian accent.
Oi, it's time for me to get out of here because I gotta go put another shrimp on the barbie. I'm gonna hop into my, what do they call them, the car trucks? Utes or something? Ute?
Yeah.
Gotta go hop in my ute, load up some stuff in the back, buy some new pluggers, and say hello to the kangaroos.
That was pretty good.
Not bad.
Yeah, I give it an
Authentic.
A+. Nor!
Arnar.
Gonna take us to the car park.
Cat back. Yeah. All right, bye everyone.
Bye.
Thanks for watching.
Bye.
Bye. You have a good one.